And I guess we're live on YouTube.
Are we?
Yes.
It says so right there, so I'm gonna take it at its word. So welcome back, everybody. Did we lose somebody? I know Ivan turned off his.
Oh, it makes me turn off my camera when that happens for some reason.
Yeah. So welcome back, everybody, to Judgment and Jeddah Part 2. We have, once again, Craig from Third Floor Wars, Anthony from Runeslinger channel on YouTube. We have Ivan from the Ivan Make 1968, which you must know because you are watching it in his channel, and Jose and me playing Star Wars Age of Rebellion. And so the quickest recap is that you are in the Moon of Jeddah. We are playing some unspecified amount of time after the Battle of Yavin, so the first Death Star has been blown up. And you guys are on a mission to go to the city of Tajed and speak with a rebel operative named Nilo Valani. To that effect, you managed to land on the planet, although you couldn't make it to the city. You were caught in a storm, avoiding some TIE fighters, and have made your way across the desert when a second storm started up, and you took refuge in a cave on a mountain ridge. And as you were sitting down and relaxing, settling in to wait out the storm, you are startled by the sudden noise of a great beast, which is very large and resembles a mix between a crocodile and a scorpion with twin scorpion-like tails. And it is pretty annoyed that you chose its home to spend the evening. Plus, it's probably hungry, so, food is food. And that is where we left it. So, shall we go to initiative? You are...
Destiny pool, or do we have the Destiny pool from last time?
I think we still have it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay, that's right. Yeah, I think we still have it up on that.
There it is.
Oh, yep. Look at that. Brilliant.
So,
okay, excellent.
So we could, there's the cave mouth, there's you, and then there's the monster behind you. So you do have some options here. Let us share the screen just to have that dice app.
We closed the last episode with Il miraculously having guns present.
Yeah.
That is true,
which is pretty cool. So,
and right after that, at that exact moment, Bob, I look at Max and go, "Nice cave."
So I will be rolling initiative using cool because the monsters has seen you, but you guys should roll initiative using vigilance because you are surprised by the arrival of this beast. And
vigilance is cunning, is it not? No, it's will. Oh, it's will. Okay, no.
It goes off of willpower. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So it just has an advantage.
That kind of blows.
And Jose goes before it. And Ivan goes before it.
I am going to spend one strain, which is not an option on this roller, to add one success to my roll. This is called rapid reaction.
We'll call it a success plus whatever you roll. So,
and I have wow.
Whoa!
Oh, damn!
His wife is free.
So
we reached the point where Jose knows all the rules, and we just have to ask him if there's.
Yes, now Jose is now fully armed and operational. So
except for the starship power.
Did Craig roll?
I did. I don't know where the icon of me sticking my tongue out comes from, but
all right. So if that is your roll, then everybody goes before the beast. So we have 4 PC slots. And remind me real quick, who took one of the Sons of Alderaan crew members with them? Because I remember Ivan said not.
Carl.
That's right. Did anyone
else?
I
got one, and he's tried to tell me his name 3 times, and I shh.
Don't. All right, so everybody except
mine's the Solostan Mycor.
That's excellent. Excellent. So everybody has one except for Bob. This ought to be good. So even though the monster has, basically startled you, you are able to get the drop on it. Who takes the first spot? Should it be Ill because of his lightning-like reflexes?
I think so.
I think so. That's thematic.
Well, I certainly don't mind.
So I think this thing is at short range already. So
Okay.
it's one difficulty to hit.
Just remind myself of what my ranged light is. Oh, that's exciting.
Aloy, is there any impact for environment?
It's kind of a dark cave, so I guess we could give it one setback die. And the storm is raging outside, but it is outside. So, and you have some fusion lamps and whatnot going, but it's still coming out of the back where it's not as well lit.
It has not acted yet, or in other words, I am acting before it.
Yes.
So my quick strike gives me 2 boost.
Nice.
All right. And you'd like me to add 1 setback? Was that?
Yes.
Get a third from aiming. Are you aiming?
Yes, I will use my maneuver to aim.
Not?
All right. And here comes my roll after all that work.
Oh my God, look at that.
Good start.
Oh my God.
That is, how much is that? Because you have a regular blaster?
It's a regular blaster, so a base of 6.
So 11.
6, so it's 11.
Not enough to activate a weapon quality. So I will.
You can heal some
Pass those.
strain.
I will relieve strain to myself. Yes. For
Oh, speaking of
So-
which, hold on. I got to open that up.
So, in a distressing moment, you realize that the blast seems to have hit it, but its hide seems to be quite tough. And it doesn't look visibly injured.
Duh.
It's important information.
Good feeling, gone.
Yes.
May I go next?
Go for it.
So
Okay,
how
go
much
right
damage did you? How much
11.
damage did
11.
Ill do?
11.
11 and oh boy. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to spend 2 strain for an extra maneuver. So my action is to activate my sense powers. Maneuver number 1 is to move, so I'm between this thing and my companions.
Okay.
I mean, maneuver number 1. Maneuver number 2 is I ready a stun grenade.
Oh,
And
interesting.
as an incidental, I say, get the hell out of here. We can set up shelters outside. We still have time.
Cool. Cool. So, who goes next?
I'll go. We're at short range now, and so I look back at the mouth of the cave. Like, how bad is the situation out there?
It's a storm. It's you
Remember the TIE
have
fighters?
training in survival, right?
Yeah.
So you realize that it is a storm and it's going to be difficult, but you can set up shelters. You do have the equipment for
Okay.
it. It's just going to be a difficult situation, and it's dangerous. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it is dangerous to go outside.
But
Yeah, it's something like
it's
those TIE fighter pods had training in flying ships, and look what happened to them.
but we got we're between a rock and a softer place, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't go that far. It's between a rock and a hard
Okay.
place.
Still
So
unheard of this dude.
no good choices here, but that I don't know. You make of that what you will. That was an excellent shot by Ill, and it seems unfazed. So
Yeah, I definitely recognize that. Max looks at Ill as soon as he saw ill draw, he drew. So my maneuver is I'm going to draw. I'm going to echo Jaster and go. Flying, doing this maneuver here. The first one to go is my unnamed son of Alderaan. He's like, yeah, I'm out. So he's going to start heading out. I get to aim as an incidental because of my, where did it go? Because of my electronic sighting system. Ooh. And because of my set trigger, I'm going to add 2 successes and a threat to this roll.
Awesome.
So you said it's 1 purple,
1 black,
and 1 setback. I get a boost because of the incidental aim. My maneuver was to draw my rifle. So here comes another ineffectual shot.
That is 9, right? Because you're using a blaster rifle.
Blaster rifle. It's going to be 13. 9 plus 4.
Okay. So,
sorry, add 2 more to that. So that's going to be
because you have extra successes. Yeah.
Yep, 6 and a threat. So it'll be 15 damage plus a threat.
15 damage plus a threat. So excellent.
I forgot to mention that there was 1 boost left over from my.
Oh, from your
Yeah, I had 1 strain. I paid off 1 strain. It leaves 1. So it's still out there.
So you can roll it if you want, Craig. Just roll a single.
Or why not? So it takes out the threat.
That takes out the threat. Excellent. Okay, so now you do see that you've hit it, right? So your blaster bolt goes through, and barrage goes off, and one of those shots seems to actually wound the beast, and it just rears up and screams. And we go on to Bob.
Oh, Bob's no fool, and he's no fool because there's no way he would have left the crate of guns outside the cave. So of course I parked my speeder bike in the cave, because what idiot wouldn't park their speeder bike in the cave? So as I hear the admonition from oh man, see now I can't see him because as Jaster starts screaming to go get the hell out of here, I hop on the speeder bike, fire it up, and then I put her in reverse, but I give this thing a blast with the cannons.
Oh, that is quite interesting. Let's go for that. So it uses heavy weapons skill. Is what it is.
It is okay. What is a forward-mounted light repeating blaster? So I wasn't sure if it's going to be my gunnery skill or if it's going to be my.
It's gunnery, yeah.
Okay, so it's fine if it's gunnery.
It really doesn't matter. It's the same damn pool.
Yeah, I believe I read someplace that it uses character scale. I could be wrong.
Oh, it does. Yes. It does. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So, but it's fine.
So we're not going to multiply the damage by 10. That's too bad.
By 10. That's my. It's a good thought though. So.
And I'm really, really into hurting this thing, rather than being its lunch. So I'm going to flip a point and to upgrade one of my dice here, and get a black die for the conditions. Does aiming still qualify in this as a maneuver?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You remember, you can take 2 strain to take extra maneuvers if you wish.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a lot of strain because, boy, I'm pretty strained out right now. This big giant thing, and I'm starting to look like lunch. And
you're the one who looks the most like lunch.
And I did not bring a Carl. So so here I am, protecting our investment, or our see, I can take 2 strain to add another boost die to that thing and just aim a lot, with all 3 eyes forward in a perfect triangle. All right, and what's the difficulty there? It's just
one purple, and one black because it's kind of dark. Yeah,
I got the black. Okay,
and the thing is scurrying about, right? It goes a little bit from side to side. It's not that huge a cave, but it's pretty big because he's silhouette too. So,
okay, good.
Oh, there we go. So the damage is 11, I believe.
Yeah, so that's 12 altogether. Yeah.
So that's 12. And you got 4.
Does it have any
Left
weapon
over.
qualities?
The weapon qualities are, let's see.
It has critical 3 and auto
There you go.
fire. For 2 of those,
Fire!
you can do 2.
The
And it
Autofire
has
remind me-
Pierce 1. So Pierce 1 takes out one of its soaks, right? If I'm
Right.
not
Correct.
mistaken. So if you do auto fire, you just take 2 of those and it hits it again. So it does the damage again. And you can still, oh no, with that, you would have to choose between a crit and an extra and a double hit, right? So
fellows.
because
What do my experts say? Crit or extra damage?
I think extra damage, but
Oh, more DACA.
Okay, we'll do more
DACA.
damage.
Nice.
We'll do more damage.
all right. So with more damage, you still have 2 advantages left over.
Which clearly gives gives the next person to act some sort of advantage or boost because
Yeah,
I've just whacked
you
this
lit it
thing.
up.
I lit it up. It's just let's hope.
Or you could penalize the monster with a setback die, whatever you want,
Let's see who's left in the
I'd
cave
like
before
that.
that. That would be me.
because it goes next.
Yes, okay, I'm gonna penalize it. That's right. It's
Yeah.
so upset. That's right. And because I'm probably the closest goddamn thing to it, yes. Be blind, you son of a bitch.
All right, so let's get
I'm glad I
my
thought of
dice
all that
pool
myself.
ready. And
So look of glee as I light it up and then starting to fade into that look of terror.
okay, so this is its ridiculous attack pool of 4 yellows, 1 green, and 1 blue. And
Okay.
I
And a black, and a
invented
black.
the description and 2 blacks because one
blacks.
because of the lighting and 1 because you gave it to him. And I would like to point out that I didn't make this guy up. I made the description up and I just borrowed a stat block. So blame Fantasy Flight Games for this monster.
way to own it, GM.
Yeah. So I would
You
like to
chose
take a
it.
disclaimer on that. So the question is, who am I attacking then?
I stepped in the way, so Jaster's fair game.
Jaster is for a game. Okay, so let's go for Jaster and see if we can hit him or.
I'm upgrading your pool twice.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. So twice?
Twice, sir.
Oh my God! Look at that.
And
So
once is not enough.
So that'll be end up
That's-
being with a red and a purple, right?
no, two
Two reds.
reds because it's melee. It's going for melee, right? So it
Oh,
it
right.
moves,
Yep.
moves to engage, and it's going for melee. So it's 2 reds. So here we go.
Let's see that despair.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm dead.
Not a despair.
No, I'm dead.
Not take
He's
this
no
bait.
Jedi.
So that
You
does
play Carl.
12
And he never-
damage.
and he never will be.
12 damage off 2
Well.
successes. That's exciting.
12 damage.
What was the dead guy's
and-
name, Jose?
Maker. Jaster.
And there's a triumph in there.
and it's worse because it's 12 damage, but it ignores 3 soak.
No,
So-
I mean the son of Alderaan. What was the dead guy's name? I mean,
Yeah. Or you
You don't
could
have to.
give it to that guy. Yeah.
I
I
stepped in
could,
front of
yeah.
everybody, but he stepped in front of me.
And
I think I should do that. Badly.
So-
oh yeah.
So the combat
He was
medic
running out.
throws-
See, yeah.
The combat medic guy sworn with protecting the group throws the other guy in front of the monster.
I think
and
I
then-
tripped as he was running out.
And so he got stabbed down with
Yeah.
one of the stingers. So that guy's dead, I suppose. And
Yeah.
with
I
that
had forgotten.
triumph,
Mhm.
I'm going to attack somebody else. And let's see who the lucky winner is. I'm going to roll a d6 here.
Well, I'm still there.
But it attacks a different guy. Second
Oh.
target.
I tried, guys.
So it's
You are
1,
my
2,
hero.
3. It's unfortunately it's ill who was in the way of the second attack. And so,
Well, I got to shoot.
same damage. So that is 12 plus ignores 3 soak. So
I think we just lost another NPC.
the other NPCs.
Just let me look at my my situation. I have a soak of 4.
-3.
-3 would be 1. Yeah.
Soak of 1, and which
And
takes
it's 12
our
damage. Yeah.
12 damage down to
11.
and then I have 12 wounds. So I could survive. However, a name like Carl sounds like a very altruistic gentleman.
Individual. Yeah.
Right. Carl was passing in front of me, which he should never do because I'm a gunfighter. Passed in front of me to get on the speeder bike and takes the shot. But I do not say, Carl, no. I just kind of step to the side with an annoyed look on my face.
Yeah. And so, Carl is dead as well. It has 1 left over, but yeah, that just has 1 point left over, 1 advantage left over. So it's not going to do anything with that. It's going to give itself a boost for its next round. So it's back to the top of the initiative. Who's going to take it?
I'll take it. I'm gonna. My guy ran. Unnamed guy ran. I imagine, and tell me if I'm wrong here. I imagine that Il and I were right next to each other, roughly, which means that Carl kind of passed in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So as a maneuver, I'm gonna grab, not knowing it's just the body of Carl. As not in the off chance Carl's still alive, I'm going to try to grab Carl, and I will spend the 2 strain to hopefully get get me and Carl a range band away from this beast.
A range band will take you out into the storm, so it should be fine, right?
That's where we're headed then.
Okay.
So I'll add my 2 strain.
Okay. So that's the action and the maneuver.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, and an extra maneuver, right? Because I figure it would take me a maneuver, unless it's an incidental for me to grab Carl. I don't know.
Normally it's
interact with.
I think it'd be a maneuver, right?
Interact with object.
I think it would be a maneuver.
Yeah, it sounds like. Okay.
So I took the strain. I took the strain. Oh, yeah, I took the strain.
But
I don't need to. What's my
But there's the action.
Right?
That's one No, it's not. I think it's a maneuver to interact with the object, and
all right. So I'm just going to exchange my action for a maneuver.
Go out. Okay, so that way you don't spend any strain. You just go out into the storm. All right. So next initiative.
Yep.
Just 1 maneuver should get you out into the storm. So.
And I'm yelling, "Get the F out!"
I'll go.
Yeah, I'm waiting see if these guys leave so I can do my thing.
Be the last man out.
Yeah. And my
right.
personnel thing. Get the hell out.
So, I move a little bit to the side because of the Carl blocking my view. And again, from somewhere, too fast to see, there's another gun.
Oh,
nice.
Cool.
I love the 2-weapon fighting rules. Yes, Ivan, I know those, even though they're good.
So I will be using the 2-weapon fighting rules, but I'll be doing that very cool gunfighter maneuver of remembering what was behind me, because that's what I do, and walking out of the cave backwards, laying down,
Nice.
double blaster shots as I go.
Excellent.
And we'll see how that works out for all of us. All right.
So again, it's 1 purple, 1 black.
Right, and we're at the top of a new turn. It still hasn't acted, so I still get the.
Excellent.
I still get the boost, and so that's all still the same, but the difficulty is 1 higher.
Right.
Yes, so it would be 1 red, then, right?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Do it.
Oh wait, there's. Oh, okay. I got the darkness here. Boom.
Oh,
Triumph. And one
he's a
success.
triumph machine.
All right.
So how much damage is that then? That would be
Okay.
7.
That's
7, he can attack again if he spends either of
If
them.
if he attacks again, does it pass through soak again, or does it lay on top of the previous damage? Because 7
I
is not
can-
going to pierce the skin.
all right. So, I can spend the triumph or the 2 advantages to double the damage.
Yeah, I haven't reviewed that.
Right.
That's the situation. I don't have to. It's 2 separate
Not.
attacks.
It's not.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 2
But I
separate
don't have
attacks.
to
so
roll
you-
again.
But you have to consider how much damage are you doing with that.
It won't be enough
It won't be
based
enough.
on what you're
That's the-
saying, but it
yeah.
looks really cool.
I love
If-
up substance in RPGs.
The question I have though is if it did any damage, it's doing 7.
Yeah.
So two
yeah,
attacks
so
of
that
7.
that doesn't pierce the soak, right? Because if you apply the soak twice to each shot independently, it doesn't go through.
Yes, you do. Then I need a good use for my triumph.
So can you crit it if
Not
if
without
you
doing
don't damage it? No. Okay. Cool. You could do environmental factors for that, right? Hinder it, distract it, shoot
How
the
about-
ceiling and trigger a cave-in.
Yeah, that's usually a 2 triumph situation, but how about something along those lines? A big cloud of dust, rock fragments falling, and but I'm going to go one further because it is the use of a triumph. I'm ricocheting the shots off its chitinous hide
Right. There you go.
to cause this disruption.
Storm. And so it's
As I
reeling
back up
back, right?
against
It sort of lifts one of its legs up and sort of tries to ward its face as you're doing this, and sort of rears back.
Right.
All right. So, and are you moving out of the cave with that maneuver?
Yeah, my maneuver is to leave.
Is to leave. Excellent. So, Bob.
Well, all motorcycles back up slowly. That's just kind of how they are. This one's no different, except it's just putting. They go like hell forward, but So this thing is backing up, and I'm giving it one last blast as a parting gift, really hoping that I manage to kill it before it decides to eat us all.
Go for it.
All right, excellent. So this time I am not going to flip a destiny point. I don't believe. Pull this dice roller back up here. Although it certainly seems like a really smart thing to do, but I will not do that. But I will take another 2 strain to aim a little bit more. Is that cloud of dust giving me any kind of problems as well?
No, on the contrary, it should probably help you. So maybe we could translate that triumph into a blue boost die for you.
Hooray. All right. So 3 green, 1 yellow, 3.
Because it's sort of reeling up, right? So it's exposing its belly. So maybe that's a better target. Yeah, that's why the boost.
There we go.
One purple, one black.
Yeah. After all that, all right. Well, still, that's 12 damage,
Hang on, I don't see it.
and it's piercing.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So it's 12 damage. Okay. So you do pierce the skin, but it's still, this thing is just too big. It doesn't seem to be, it's still superficial wounds, you can tell, in spite of your best efforts. So, but you do manage to back away, right? And so it's only Jaster left inside the cave with
And I make Jaster's job that much easier. Just tossing him a little bit of a boost. Once again, irritating the creature.
All right. So Bob is on a bike. How many bikes do we have left in the cave? 2 more bikes?
We had 4 bikes originally.
So 3 more bikes are still in the cave.
If you spend one of those light side points, you could have said that, somebody else, you only have 1 guy left though. You could have said that, that your guy took an extra bike out. So if you, because it's a declaration, right?
If it's all right, I'm going to spend a light side and say my guy grabbed a bike as he was going out. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Cool. And so, Jaster, there's 1 bike left.
All right. Then what I'll do is I'll use a strain for an extra maneuver to get on the freaking bike.
Mm-hmm.
Jump on the bike. And my maneuver obviously will be moved. And as I go, I toss the stun grenade to try and at least scare the thing.
The bike turns. He's got his back to the monster and just kind of the cocky free throw from without looking at the net.
Awesome.
Exactly. Well, I'm hoping it's like tossing it sideways. So.
Love
All right.
it.
So it's
So it's 1 purple and 1 black. Yeah.
All right. And you said I had a boost, right? I'm purple.
Yeah,
and
there's a
black.
boost.
Ignore that accidental roll, which was a great roll.
Oh, is that how it says roll? Like a wash?
It's a wash. It's a wash. Yeah.
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 You can use
So
my
what-
accidental roll if you want to, but yeah. It's a wash.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So the lighting is so bad that you toss it into a corner, but it's not actually there anymore. And so, there's a flash of light.
All right,
as
wait. There's a question. I gotta check what the blast
effect does.
effect does, because it's gotta activate, or does
Yeah,
you have
you
to-
to advantage.
Yeah.
You have to trigger it with advantage. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
So what the guys from outside see is the storm is raging outside, right? And you can see like the red lightning coming down, and it's a mix of sand and ash, and this wind blowing all over, and you can see the cave mouth, and then there's this blue glow, right? Like from the stun grenade, just poof, and out of the cave mouth comes Jaster flying on the speeder bike, right? But the wind is so bad that you guys can't make it very far from the cave. You are going to have to take shelter in the storm.
I'll get on
And,
with Jaster.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
I'll just leap off a rock onto the back of the bike.
So we're leaving a bike in there, right?
Yeah.
And you're caught in the storm. So now you guys are gonna have to
To build a shelter.
make some survival checks. Yeah. So
What's the monster
the
going to do?
difficulty, the monster is not going out. It doesn't like the storm.
Got it.
It's going to stay inside. So
Smarter
It's
than
afraid
us.
of taking damage in
It's-
the storm.
yeah. And so Jaster, you feel something wrong with this storm, right? There's like a darkness and a something just feels off. It doesn't feel natural.
The storm, it's not natural. I sense something bad in it. Go ahead, Bob.
Did you hit your head?
And so you're going to have to set up shelters. So the difficulty to do this, it's quite difficult. If you're using the survival skill, which you guys have, let's just make a group check to which you can help. So it's going to be 2 reds and 2 blacks is the difficulty.
Who's
Now-
got the highest cunning? I've got a rank in survival.
There's one.
Well,
I got two,
Right.
just like Max. My skill is identical to Max. 1 and 1.
Nobody has 3 cunning.
No. If only this were an intellect
Yeah.
situation.
So basically the best we can do is flip a die so we can get 2 yellows, and
Yep. That's the best we can do.
All right. And
So-
is an unskilled assist just an extra boost? Is that how that works?
Yes, we're going to give you an extra boost for the assist. Now, should we add
So-
1 blue for each guy assisting? It sounds like we should,
As long as
Yeah.
it's reasonable, yes.
yeah, we're all setting up the camp.
because everybody's, it's one
Alright.
guy directing and the others setting up the different shelters. So take 1 blue boost from everybody else,
Got it.
plus 1 extra blue from the crash survival packs, which you do have.
Great.
So,
Great. All right. So if
difficult-
Do we
I
get,
am
wait,
looking at this-
time out. Do we get any blues from the surviving NPC? Can he help too?
Sure, why not?
All right. So as soon as I get out and I recognize the bikes are coming out, I see my unnamed guy took the bike out. And I immediately recognize that the monster's not following us, which makes me happy, but scared about what we're heading into at the same time. That accented by the fact that Jaster's yapping about this doesn't feel like a good storm. And Max is like, yeah, no kidding. Right. Super helpful, Jaster. Thank you. Immediately start looking, and just yell, we need to find shelter. So hopefully everybody else is also looking. So my pool ends up being, because we're going to flip that guy. My pool ends up being 2 yellow, 5 boost, 2 red, and 2 black. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yes.
Choose a sheltering area without really large monster tracks in it next time.
Oh, right. That should add to my difficulty.
It was good. To be fair, it was stone, right? So there's no tracks in the stone.
In the meantime, while you're rolling, I'm looking back
That's
and
not
forth.
how I'm going to tell the story.
Yeah, I'm looking back and forth between Jaster and Max. Jaster saying the storm doesn't look natural, and Max saying we need to find shelter. I'm just trying to figure out which one is stupider at this exact moment. Go ahead.
So yes, I ended up with 2 successes, 2 advantage.
Oh,
You might have to
Uh-huh.
refresh.
I'm having to do that a lot today
Nice.
for some reason. All right. So that is amazing. So you do manage to lay down the
Jesus.
shelters. You do manage to secure the speeder bikes as well, right? Because this was part of the things at risk. And you managed to hunker down. And so you spend hours there with the fierce winds and the thunder and the lightning, you lighting up the shelter from the outside. But you managed to have done this near a rock outcropping, right? Not a cave this time, a rock outcropping. And so
we didn't
does
even
provide.
we didn't even have to cut Bob open and sneak into him. So this was awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was the backup.
I think
plan.
Bob smells bad on the outside.
Good backup plan.
And so by the time the storm blows over, it's daytime again. But given your very successful roll, if anybody has any stress, you could heal up some stress with those 2. Well, I'll just give it to everybody. So anybody can heal 2 stress if they need it. But the success means that all your equipment is safe and your bikes are safe, and yeah. And
That's good.
as you're taking down the shelters in the morning, right? And packing everything up back into the survival packs to stow on the bikes, getting ready to move out, you again see in the distance a glint of metal from the sunlight.
And the scorpion waves. Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah.
So where do we see the glint of metal off the sunlight?
It's imagine like two ridges of mountains, I suppose, and then so at the very end of the thing, there's a little glint of light,
Okay.
like
Is that-
metal
and then-
reflecting of sunlight.
Is that the direction of the city itself or no?
No, it's actually coming from what would be behind, right, from the area you previously traversed through.
Let's look with the macro binoculars, see if I see anything.
All right, so you'll look, and it's just the same guy on the sled with the Spammel caravan, and he's still behind.
Think you survived?
Apparently so. Well, you can see him.
If he survives,
And again, it's 10.
If he survived, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And if I understand things correctly, we purposely circumvented him, which means he's following us, or at least headed in the same direction we are.
He's probably
Headed to the city, same as we are.
Yeah.
so. But you are closer to the city now, right? So if you can speed over there, you can make it. You don't have to talk to this guy.
Look left.
Might
look
be
right.
helpful to know what to expect. Anybody who's trucking across the desert is what, a trader or
I
a cleverly
don't think
planted imperial spy in the desert waiting for rebel wahoos to come raining down out of the sky.
I think it's
Random-
reasonable that we tried to avoid him at first. I think it's also reasonable that we are now somewhat impressed by him, right? The fact that what we well-equipped rebellion with, crash packs and the whole thing, and it looks like this guy's just got his sled and a couple animals, and he still survived. I don't think it's too ridiculous, and you guys help me out here for us to go, wait a second, maybe we need to check this guy out.
Based on all of our interactions, it doesn't seem like any of us are overly charming.
I am.
That's true.
I just happen not to like Max. That's really it.
So,
It's actually-
which makes
I'm
you a good judge of
actually charming
character.
I'm actually charming as hell.
Well, I know I, for one, would be moved if Bob did the talking.
All right, let's go check him out, but let's not take too long. We still have to meet our contacts. I feel like we're falling behind.
Okay.
So as soon as Bob
Okay.
kind of throws that out there, I'm going to tell my unnamed guy to stay here, and I'm gonna hop a bike and go. Well, I guess we're going. Okay. I hop on a bike and I follow Bob. Not quite sure that Bob's making the right choice, but I'm not going to try to talk him out of it either.
So
I'm
are
going
we
to
all
stick
going,
with
or who-
Jaster.
Okay. All right. So the two of us are speed down there.
So everybody's going, right, except for the son of Alderaan who's staying behind to guard the camp, so to speak.
Well, I don't know. Is
that what
Jester staying or coming?
Oh, I'll
You're
say
on
your
mute,
volume's
Jester.
gone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're coming. We said the
Oh, okay.
Well, in that case, we're gonna leave. We're really gonna leave this poor guy there to be eaten.
folk here started to talk, so I switched. What was
A little
that?
bit of audio, but say again, you're going with everybody else.
Oh, that we're leaving the poor guy to be eaten. That's what Bob
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. That doesn't
Oh.
seem right.
Well, we're not near the cave
Yes.
entrance anymore, are we?
No.
Okay. So
The-
yeah.
The stone is actually like a trapdoor spider.
Yeah. I'm like looking. I'm like, you can't leave him here. There'll be nothing left.
It's fine, Bob. This is your idea anyway. Let's go.
He's the
Yeah.
rescue.
So that just I give up and I floor it.
All right.
All right. So as the bikes are drawing near, again, you notice it's a train. It's a little caravan of 10 Spammels. They have packs strapped like saddlebags with packs on them. And I don't know if you remember the picture of the spamels, was the big creatures with very long legs. They're sort of bluish in coloration, some sort of reptile, local creature. There is a repulsor sled, which is hitched up to one of the spamels in the back, right? So it's like he's riding a train of spamels. And on the repulsor lift, there's what seems to be cargo, right, strapped down on it. And there is this very large, almost twice the size of a man, reptilian-like creature. Let me see if we can do a screen share. Hang on. Let's try that again. And this is the being that you see riding the on the repulsor left, repulsor sled. This is an
Max. Huh? If we tangle with him, don't give him an uppercut. That's what I'm gonna say.
So this is an Anx, which some of you may recognize. It's one of many sentient species of the galaxy, right? So as you
how is he
draw
reacting
near,
to our approach?
he slowly lifts up and sort of reins in the spamel, and so the whole train sort of slows down as you approach, and then he looks at you and goes like this.
I lift up one hand, I wave in this friendly across the galaxy gesture of hi, how you doing?
I'm not here to kill you. Yeah, excellent. So as you approach, he looks at you and says,
greetings, travelers. Are you on the way to Tajed?
Ah, yes, indeed we are. And Bob gives him the most winning smile. Greetings, fellow traveler.
You are going the wrong way. Tajed is over there. And he points back.
Yeah, got lonely.
Oh, we know that. We know that. We just saw you traversing across the desert yourself. Very impressed that you were able to survive in the storm in the open. You must have done this a lot.
I managed to reach Stone Ridge before the worst of the storm hit. And this is my trade route. I am returning from Otipah City, but going to Tajed. Would you like to join me on our way? There is strength in numbers, although very seldom do things happen in this desert.
Are storms like that typical? Like the one that was last night?
It's been like that for a few years. No, not for a few years, he says. It's been like that for a while. Ever since the green light and the destruction of Jeddah City.
I can imagine. Yes, I think we would like to join you. We could use somebody that knows the lay of the land and is smart. We unfortunately decided to take shelter in a cave. And I look at Max, and it was occupied. We managed to escape with our lives, barely escape with our lives. But a guide like you would be welcome.
What are you a trader in?
Mostly whatever needs trading, whatever I can find. Things have been difficult since the green light. I am scrounging enough money to leave this place, go back to Anx Minor, or anywhere in the Ryobala sector. Really?
Out of character, I want to... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So out of character, I want to make sure I heard everything correctly. Jeddah City is where we were going. And he just said since the destruction of Jeddah City, is that correct?
No, you're going to Tajed.
Oh, Tajed. I'm sorry. Okay.
Tajed, yeah. Jeddah City is, if you watch Rogue One, it's gone. So
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I kind of look at Bob and say, ask him about Villani.
I give Bob Max a long look. Ah, yes. My companion would like to know about if you're a fellow of our friend Nilo Villani. Nilo?
He tilts his head a little bit and says,
I don't recall this name. Is he a trader? Are you traders? Or perhaps miners?
Oh, we are traders of sort. We have business to do with him.
Ah, I see. I cannot say that I have met this fellow. Is he in Tajet?
He should be.
We hope so.
Well, there's few people left in the moon now. Barely miners and traders and the Empire. You have not the look of Imperials?
Oh, no, not even close. Not even close.
A lot of
Is anybody-
stormtroopers down here.
They are in the major settlements, and Tajet is now the major city after Jeddah City was gone.
"Is anybody hurt out of the four of you?" I don't think anybody's hurt. Okay.
Of the
Surprise.
2 NPCs.
We have a body count, but nobody's hurt.
Just
So he
okay.
says, I am trading medicines and medical supplies from Atapa.
So we could take I was gonna say that we could take a look at his stores, but we don't really need to buy anything right now. I think we're stocked. So
And I would imagine last night we figured out that Carl did not make it. So
I think it was a giant hole in his chest that really
Yeah,
got to tip us off. Jaster said, "That's not good. Can't fix that."
I took a little time this morning while somebody was trying to make calf to put Carl on the ground.
I can imagine now. Thanks to Bob, I can imagine Jaster with a tube of Neosporin and a box of bandits. Like, no, I don't think.
Nope, not gonna work.
Carbolic
this
acid.
time.
Oh, it fixes everything. Just pour it out. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I don't see that. Like that I would think that the rebels' guns are a lot more valuable than medicine. It's exactly
Yeah.
Although somebody else could tell me something different. I'm not the most cunning individual, just charming.
I don't see a need to trade with him. So he's headed to Jed, or he's heading from to
Yes.
Jed?
No,
He's
Yeah, he's
okay.
going on a return trip. Yeah.
And how much is he going to slow us down? How much? What are we looking at if we go with the Spammel train?
Rate of
What are
travel.
we looking at?
Yeah. It's going to be slower, of course. You really
on
can't.
the other hand, if we show up with somebody who's known, that might keep our profile down.
Good call.
Oh, the speeders somewhere. Walk in like we're caravan guards or something
Right.
like that.
Because
Friend, we've got some stuff we're going to be trading into Jed. Is there room on the sled?
Yes, I could use the company. It's lonely walking the route between Tajed and Atapa.
Excellent. I have a big giant crate I can pick on the sled, and I look at Max and you better go get. He's waiting for us.
I think we can probably pick him up. He's on our way, so yeah. We'll pick him up on the way.
So it slows you down. It's a slower pace, but yeah, you're still making good pace. The Spammels are surprisingly fast.
and we'll stash the speeders when we're closer to the city, right? so we'll
Okay.
have reasonable access.
All right. So, you as you go through the sands, you start approaching yet another ridge of mountains, right? The landscape is extremely monotonous. It's either sand or similar looking ridges of mountains, right? There is not much, except that sort of beyond the horizon, now that you've passed through this sort of pass between the mountains, right? Now that you've made this pass and turned directly toward the mountain ridge where Jeddah City, where Tajed is, in the horizon behind it, you can sort of see a glow, right? And this, of course, corresponds to the crack in the planet core, right? There's a breach of the mantle, and so there's lava and stuff
Magma.
exposed. So it's magma behind the ridge where Tajed is. And as you approach, Tajed is a city. It's a cliff dwelling type city. So, like if you've seen the Mesa Verde city in Colorado, right, from the Pueblo Indians, it's
Yep.
sort of carved into the side of the mountain. Now, so imagine that, but it's a mix of, the stone carved buildings and adobe buildings with technology in that classic Star Wars mix of old and new, right? So at the top, it's a mesa, right? So at the top of the mesa, you see a large radar dish and some small towers, and you notice a shuttle taking off and landing, and so there's a small spaceport up top, right?
Is it an Imperial shuttle or civilian type?
Imperial like. It's a Lambda type shuttle, so as you approach the bottom of the mesa, Odom says,
Tajed is occupied by an imperial garrison, but it's mainly a mining town. Is your friend with the mining guild?
Do we know the answer to that?
no, you don't. You know that he's a rebel operative. He's a spy, obviously, but you're not exactly sure what it is that he does. You know that you're supposed to meet him in this lodging place called the Pilgrim's Rest.
I'm really not sure. Sometimes, you know how it is. We don't necessarily know everything about our business contacts. Only that their money is good. And the Pilgrims what? Pilgrims Rest?
Yes.
Yeah, Anthony is muted. You just said something we didn't hear.
I think he normally works in hospitality.
That's a good answer.
Oh, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Being charming but not cunning, Bob smiles and nods. And I look over at Max and say, "Oh, a city made of caves. How exciting."
Well, perhaps he is a pilgrim. This used to be quite a religious center back before Jeddah City was destroyed. There's not many pilgrims left anymore. It's mostly just miners and Imperials. Everybody else has left. I will leave soon.
What kind of religion?
All religions. It seems they worshipped something called the Force. I'm not much of a religious person myself, but plenty of cults used to come here to worship. The great Temple of the Wills in Jeddah City. But now that's gone.
Hey, Jose, how much do we know about your I've got a bad feeling about this sense? Like, do we have a sense? Like, do you call it the Force? Do we know you have the Force, or leverage the Force, or believe in that mumbo jumbo?
I think you guys know that Jaster believes in it, but because he does nothing other than be able to dodge a little better than usual, right?
Okay.
So whether you believe whether you believe what he believes or you think he's crazy, it's up to each guy. But Jasper
I guess-
clearly believes in the Force.
Right. I guess what I'm wondering is that the mention of this being a place, the Force is part of this religion. I didn't know whether we would acknowledge your belief system or not, Jester.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know that he believes in the Force, and you know, you've probably heard the story that he says that one of his relatives was a Jedi Knight, but whether you guys believe it or not, that's the fun part.
I respect your cultural beliefs and not make fun of them in front of you.
That
At
doesn't
least in
sound so
public,
much fun.
yes.
That doesn't sound so much fun. You should make fun of it.
Well, I might.
I'm pretty sure that whenever mostly appropriate, I manage to slip in that he is one with the Force and the Force is with him. This is my friend Jaster. He's one with the Force.
Fantastic.
Force is with him. So as you approach the cliffside, right,
Sideways.
there is a section which seems to be depressed into the wall, and there's a large, humongously large blast door, right, as is tradition in Star Wars, and it's partly lifted up. So it serves as sort of a hangar or garage entrance, right, and it's enormously wide, and so it is open right now. And Odom Carr drives his train right into the opening, and once your eyes sort of get used to the darkness, you notice that this is a cave that serves precisely as what you think. It's a vehicle storage, right? So there's sleds, there's spammels, there's land speeders, there's speeder bikes, there's all sorts of transportation, right, arranged along the edges of the cave. And some people are going in, some people are coming out. And there are turbo lifts and stuff at the back of the cave, as well as stone stairs leading up. And okay. So we have a little bit of a time limit, which is fine. You guys, let's speed it up. You guys make it into the city. You see stormtroopers wandering around, but it's not like they're actively harassing anybody yet. You manage to climb up through the terraces. The terraces themselves are open. It's not like the entire city shuts down when the storm hits, right? It just, the buildings themselves have storm shutters, right? So there's like little blast doors that come in, but all those are lifted up, right? And so there are bunch of people dressed in the yellow overalls of the mining guild. You see imperial uniforms over the place, but mostly it's miners, right? And there seems to be a few pilgrims in red robes and different garb, little groups of people dressed in different color robes moving to and about, but not as many as you would think, right? As Odom told you, this is sort of like it's no longer a heavily visited moon as it used to be once. There's a lot of bars and stuff for the miners, but you make your way to this area of the city which seems less busy, much less amount of miners here, and there's this inn, for lack of a better word, called the Pilgrim's Rest. And there are, the front of the thing looks out over the desert, right? And so it's a bunch of windows. You see the storm shutters, but they're up, right? In case of a storm, bam, they slam them down. But right now it's open. It's a clear day. And you've been told that Nilo will show up sometime about noon, and I think he regularly visits this place, right? Because he's waiting for contact. So, if you make your way inside, there's not that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. We're headed inside. I'm with you.
Let's
so
not
you guys,
go in as a group.
Okay. So you sort of stagger in, right? So some people go in first, and a little time passes. Some more people come in, and it's not like it's completely empty, right? It's just not packed. So there's a bunch of chairs and booths and tables, because there's like a restaurant area where you're supposed to meet Nilo. Facing the windows. This is the window area is more like the restaurant part. And there's just a few people in chairs. There's a counter.
I take
You're
a seat,
welcomed in.
next to the
Mhm.
wall by the entrance. So if you
Okay.
walk in, I'm behind
Uh-huh.
you. So
I've already
Okay.
ordered a drink and a vegetarian appetizer.
Excellent.
I'm
Excellent.
sitting in a more conspicuously
And so-
inconspicuous, but I'm visible. I'm there
Mm-hmm.
clearly looking like a guy that's waiting to meet somebody, or just make himself obvious, but not not suspiciously obvious, as best as a
So
guy
that's
with
a
one
good-
cunning can do.
That's a good observation by Anthony. I would say that there's a row of tables and chairs next to the window. There's another sort of area in the middle with some tables, and there are a couple of booths in the back, sort of like the classic cantina Star Wars sort of
Yeah.
rounded booth. Where do you guys sit? Because Anthony is by the front row,
By the
right
door,
by the
yeah.
windows. Yeah, by the door.
So
Where's
as Max
everybody else
came
go?
in, Max came in, his first instinct is to sit by the door, and immediately I see Il has already done that, and I give him a little bit of a all right. So I am going to try to go as far back as possible, so I'm facing the door. So in my mind,
Okay.
I'm watching people come in, and I can also see Il. I'm also going to quickly survey. What's the clientele like? Are we looking at a bunch of red robes, or?
There's a couple of red robes. There's a couple of minors. I mean, it's not unheard
Okay.
of, right? But it's
All
not. It's not a bar, right? So you would, from what you've seen, the heavily concurred areas are the bars. The minors are drinking,
Okay.
basically.
I'm gonna
And
sit.
so,
I'm gonna sit close to Max. So I just want to watch the door. And as I sit and order a drink, I'm gonna go ahead and roll a force die, just to get a
Okay.
sense if there's anybody hidden that we can't see, right? Sentient
Cool.
beings.
cool.
So let's
And
see.
right
Right.
before Jester does that, I turn to him and I'm like, "Do you guys have like a secret handshake or something?"
I just got the wrong one.
Wrong die. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
All right.
Two
so
light
two-
side points.
All right. So it's like he kind of like smiles, and
Mhm.
and seems like he's just and closes his eyes, and he's what this allows me to do is, in this sense, is sense all living things within short range, sentient
Excellent.
and non-sentient beings.
Excellent. So you get a sense, of just the patrons here. There's the
Lucky. Sorry.
there's like a human there's like a human host, right? And there are some droid waiters and a cook in the back, but there's nothing like in the floors above. You feel some lot, people who are staying here, but nothing suspicious as far as you can tell.
And
And the curious
I-
there's
lack of
no
insight.
imps.
Yeah, I whispered that to Max. I don't think there's anybody waiting in ambush. Looks everything normal.
And I'm definitely in one of those booths that looks like a Han Solo Greedo type booth in the back. Like, I mean, legs can not, just kick back, just enjoying myself. Looking,
Eating your soup or whatever
Well,
it is. that they-
yeah, just kind of looking up and
And our unnamed son of Alderaan like tries to sit with Jaster and I shoo him away and point over at Bob. I'm like, go sit with him.
Okay. So a little bit of time later, but around the appointed time, a small figure, with a hood and a cape, right, comes in and takes the hood off when they walk inside the door, and it is an Ognaut, and you will have been briefed that your contact, Nilo Valani, is an Ognaut.
remind me what those look
So,
like.
excuse me?
Remind me what
Those
those look
are
like.
the little
The little
Pig-like
guys
Guys,
from
the
looking
Cloud
guys
City.
work.
humanoids in
Yeah,
Bespin
Cloud
who
City.
dismantled C-3PO in Cloud City.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah. So it's one of those guys. And he sort of looks around and
I raised my
I
glass.
suppose you'd been given some sort of countersign, right? To
Secret
recognize
handshake.
him. Secret
I
handshake.
scratched my third eye.
So who is sort of beckoning him over? Because you're sitting at different places, or are you?
I think it's Bob.
It's Bob.
It's Bob. Okay, so Bob, he goes over to Bob and sits at. May I join you? And you exchange the whatever the secret password is, which I did not think of beforehand. Judgment is the password. So you sort of work that into your greeting.
Why don't you pass
And
judgment
he-
upon my appetizer here, Fry? I'm just having these little piece
I
things
think
about this.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and nod at Max and kind of like saunter over with my drink too.
Okay.
I don't
So he
join
sits
them. I stay where I
down.
am.
We got already 2 people watching the place.
Blue Milk and I will
so
stay by the door.
Oh, gross.
So so he looks at you both and says, "It's good to see you finally. I've
Took a
been
while.
waiting for a while."
Yeah, we ran into some Imperial trouble in the skies, but we couldn't land in the city itself. We had to trek across the desert.
Well, I'm glad you've come. The Imperial operation is picking up speed. They have reached an agreement with the mining guild, and they're
Really?
now operating at full capacity. Yes, they are now strip mining the planet using mining guild ore crawlers. It seems the Empire has become interested in kyber crystals. If any of you have been briefed in the Rogue One operation, you are aware that these kyber crystals are being harvested for the super weapon. The great
the one that did this
Yes.
to the spoon.
Well, we don't know if they're planning on building a new one or what they're using the crystals for, but whatever it is, it's bad that they're harvesting these crystals. And so I don't know how much you know about kyber crystals, but I'm an engineer and I'm working in there with the Imperials. Kyber crystals have very particular properties. They're not found everywhere. They're mostly found in places, of high heat and pressure. And they have the strange property of focusing energy and storing it. But in any case, not only has the harvesting increased pace, but since the destruction of Jeddah, 2 things have happened which have changed the equation. The great breach of the planet core, which some of the locals have taken to calling the Scar. This area is now exposed to the planet core, right? And so along the surface of this great chasm, the increased heat and pressure has increased the production of raw kyber along its edges. So it's easier to mine. And for some reason, there seems to be something along the Scar which is changing the crystals as well.
Changing.
How?
Naturally, say what? Say again?
Changing how? He said. Changing how?
Changing how? Well, naturally occurring kyber crystals are clear, sometimes green or blue, but now they've taken on this darker purplish red color, and that seems to have changed the resonance of the crystals, and they seem to be now more efficient at channeling energy, focusing energy, and storing it. And so these more powerful crystals are being produced. This effect is so pronounced that the Empire has constructed a refinery along the lip of the scar, right about where Jeddah City once stood, or at least as close as you can get to where Jeddah City once stood. This refinery is where the ore crawlers are going, and we have to stop this. I don't know how or what they're using the crystals for, but we can't allow this operation to proceed. Whatever it is, if the Empire's this interested in it, we have to stop it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Villani. Are they? Is it this change in these crystals? Is it something that the Imperials are doing? Are they like infusing them with some sort of ray or something?
It seems to be a property arising from the scar, and so the refinery seems to be focusing energy from the scar itself and refining the crystals in some way. But the thing is, security at the refinery is very tight. They have Viper probe droids patrolling the periphery. They have anti-aircraft turbo laser emplacements. The only thing that seems to be able to come in and out of that refinery are the cargo shuttles from the Star Destroyers overhead and the Mining Guild ore crawlers. So are the two things that come in and out of there freely.
Well, sneaking aboard a Imperial shuttle is out. I really would rather not ride inside one of those. Ore crawler? Maybe. Seems like these would be really valuable for the rebellion, but I don't see a reasonable means of actually extricating large amounts of kyber crystals, whatever those might be.
Well, wait, our mission was to try and stop them, right?
Right.
So we don't have to stop them, even though that sounds like a valuable resource. So it looks like we've become a demolitions team.
Sabotaging the facilities might be what we need to do.
How many people do we have on our side here?
Well, that seems to be the problem. It's just me down here, as far as I'm aware. And you. The only other thing that I've heard rumors of is that Saw Gerrera is back.
Oh.
It's a local, it's a Saw Gerrera. It's a local partisan. He was a terrorist in these parts and, used to attack the Imperial mining facilities before the destruction of Jeddah. He disappeared for a while.
I was about to ask.
Go ahead. Say again.
Go ahead, Jose. I didn't interrupt.
Oh no! What I was saying is I was about to ask who knew these facilities best. So it sounds like he might be a good resource.
So we might contact him and his group. Right? They disappeared for a while after the destruction of the city, but it seems they're back. Unfortunately, I don't know how to contact them.
Out of character, Aloy.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not hearing this conversation. And I assume I'll get briefed on it later. No. But
yes.
What is the chances that me being part of the being part of the rebellion for a while, like I'm trying to know whether I'm going to recognize Sal's name or not.
Well, the way I'm thinking of this, if you saw the movie, you know what's going on, right? So It could be because you were at Yavin 4 before the when the Rogue One team came over to Yavin 4, so you may have talked directly with them, or you may have been briefed because you've been with the rebellion for a while. If you haven't watched the movie, then I guess you're a newer recruit, right? And haven't been briefed. But I think this works better if you saw the movie and you understand the implications of what he's saying, right?
And at this point, because I don't know if we don't have any sense if it's canon or not. Obviously, the early rebellion has a shaky relationship with Sal. I'm wondering at this point, post the Battle of Yavin, what is that relationship? Do we know?
Well, as far as the rebellion is concerned, the only remnants of Saw Gerrera's band were on Jeddah itself.
Okay.
So, as far as the rebellion is aware, Saw Gerrera and his partisans died
Got it. Okay.
with the destruction of the city. So
So
this is
Ivan's
news
question-
to you that
Yeah.
Saw Gerrera
Ivan's question
might
was
be back.
apropos.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm going with. Is I'm like, Saw Gerrera, who? And I'm like, I thought he was dead.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he was dead. Yeah, well, that's what they say. That's what the rumors say, that the partisans are back, and there has been reports of attacks on mining crawlers, and and some trader caravans have also been attacked out in the opens of the wild.
It's gonna take longer than we thought. Well, I guess we're
And
gonna have to go
as
back.
you are digesting this information, the door next to Il opens, and a squad of stormtroopers walks in, carrying one of those little discs that they put in the hand, and they move over, right, and they look at the host right by the counter, which is next to the door, right, and they move over and they flash the thing, and it props up a hologram, and the stormtrooper says,
Have you seen this man? He is wanted by the Empire. We're going to search the premises.
and the hologram that you see on the palm of his hand is Nilo Valani's face.
Dun, dun.
I have a bad
Dun,
feeling.
dun, dun. And I think this is where we'll leave it, because I think we're hitting the time limit. Is that correct, Anthony?
Yeah. Sorry.
I look at the hologram, and like one eye stalk kind of
Mhm.
turns towards Nilo, and just kind of like for comparison,
Yeah.
like, oh crap.
Oh no.
But my smile, that's what goes on in my head. But all that happens is my smile goes. That's about it.
Well, if I could blink, I might blink.
Huh?
My big red orbs,
Red.
my glass of blue milk, but under the table, my empty hand no longer empty.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice.
He grabbed the gun.
And obviously, I'm committing my force point. So there you go.
Whoa, cool!
Excellent.
So my
So-
senses are. Bullet time.
So I think this is where we start next week.
Yeah.
Wicked.
The Nilo is wanted now by the Empire. This is, of course, unknown to him, right? He thought he was cool.
Hey, so
No
it's like-
longer.
this completes our extra half hour. So then we
Yes.
get 10x
10
or
points.
yes.
That's true. This is 10 XP this session. So yeah,
Just saying. All right. Anyhow, fantastic.
excellent.
And I'm
All right,
happy I got
so
to
that's
do
it.
some non-combat force stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did promise some role playing at some point, right? So because it's been action. So
No, I really enjoyed backing the heck out of the cage with the creature who was clearly going to kill us all.
and
I
had you
just hope-
failed the survival role, you would have lost bikes, men, all sort of strain,
Man, there was only one
man,
left to lose.
man. Yeah.
I just hope Max realizes that his deeply penetrating shot is because I cracked the thing's carapace with my
Right.
carefully
Oh,
precise.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We know. All right, fellas.
That creature is tougher than I thought. Yeah, it's like, well, I got it off the book, so
That's
I
a
don't
lot
feel
of
bad.
soap.
That's what that's what they said it had. So okay.
Very, very tough. Yeah, I decided. Yeah, it was a
Fine.
good time to leave now. We are leaving. All righty.
All right. So thanks for joining us, and we'll hopefully
Thanks,
play
that
next
was
week
fun.
or something. So